Children tend to ask some of the most difficult questions when it comes to God that would probably stump even the greatest theologian. So what's a parent to do? Well, joining us today to share more about a series that uses stories, thought-provoking conversation, and art to answer some tough questions is Phillip W. Rodgers, the author and illustrator of the Discovering God series. And we are so glad to have you with us.
Great, thanks for having me.
And you know, I think that for somebody to do a children's book and anything for kids, and wait till you guys see the book, it's really cute stories. I think you have to have a special kind of heart for kids and an ability to see like they see. Where do you think you developed that heart and that passion for young kids?
I think it's always been there since the very beginning. I never grew out of it. I've always been a big Charles Schulz fan, and every Christmas I'd have to watch all the big children's shows like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and Santa Claus and all that kind of stuff. So it's just always been there. I think God planted it from the very beginning, and He had a purpose for me from the very beginning.
Right. Now, one of the things that your series deals with are some tough questions that kids ask. And, you know, that show, Kids Say the Darndest Things.
Yeah.
Well, they ask the darndest questions.
Oh, yes, they do. And they keep on asking them, don't they? They don't just stop at one. They just keep coming and coming. It's like Niagara Falls. You know, it just keeps it flowing.
Right. So where did you come up with the idea for this series and some of the questions that you came up with?
Well, that's totally a God thing. The character himself, Bailey Bear, I've been drawing him for about 20 years. I started out as a cartoonist. Like I said, I'm a big Charles Schulz fan. So I thought that one day I would be a cartoonist. Well, that just never seemed to happen. I worked at a Christian publisher, and I was on a break one day, and that's when the story happened. So I wrote the first story, How Tall Is God? I wrote that in about 10 minutes. And after writing that, I thought, well, what character can I use for this? And that's whenever I associated back with the bear, so it all just came back together. So again, just right from the very beginning, God just put all this together, and it just all fell into line.
Now, how tall is God? Is that a hypothetical, or is that actually
That's a very
question?
good question. You haven't figured that out yet, huh? Actually, the answer is I have no idea, and honestly, I don't want to know, because Bailey Bear, he is the main character of the book, of course, and Bailey Bear is afraid of the dark, so he wants to know how tall is God, because he wants to make sure that God's tall enough to see in his room and protect him at night. But what he finds out is that God was tall enough to place the leaves on the trees and the clouds in the skies, but the most important thing about God is not his height, power, or strength, it's his love for us. So that's what I'm trying to get across to the kids, is that yes, God is important, but all of that wouldn't mean anything if God didn't love us.
Right. And then what about When Does God Sleep?
Well, that's the second book in the series, and in it's Bailey Bear's first day at school. So he wants to know when God sleeps to make sure that if he snores loud like his dad and something happens to him, he won't miss it. So.
Right. Well, you know what? It's kind of interesting, because a lot of times you have people that write books and they're the author, and then they get someone else to illustrate, or vice versa. But you actually do both of them.
I do both, and again, that's one of those God things. He just made me a one-man show.
A one-man show. Yeah. So you brought some paper here. It's Show and Tell on the Harvey Show today.
I'd like to draw a Bailey Bear for you and explain that I have a children's program where I travel around to different churches and organizations and whoever will have me, and I speak about different aspects of God, and I use drawing Bailey to teach. So in saying that, I explain that everything that we have, everything that we are, and everything that we do belongs to God, and we're to give that back to him in service to his son Jesus. So we draw the eyes, and we talk about how you can use your eyes to serve God, and then I draw the nose, and the kids, of course, draw that along with me, and I explain.
So they're actually drawing with you?
They're drawing along with me, so they're getting association.
Yes. I wonder if I could do that.
Well, you're welcome to join right along with me.
Okay,
so we draw the eyes, we talk about how we can use our eyes to serve God, and what I'm trying to lead them back to is that when we serve one another, we're in turn serving God. It's the parable of the king. You know, whatever you've done unto them, you've done unto me. So we draw the nose, and the nose is a fun one. You know, I explain, you know, don't pick it, first of all.
Right.
But then we go to the mouth.
Okay.
And we draw that, and then we talk about how you can use your mouth to serve God. And then we move on to the ears.
Well, this is kind of fun.
Oh, it is fun.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of fun for me.
Okay.
And we draw his hair,
All
and we
right.
talk about
Hold
how
on
you can
one
use
second.
your
Let me
hair.
get that.
Okay. Do I need to slow down just a little bit?
Okay, I got it.
Wow, Kelly.
Okay, so I got the hair.
I forget that I've been drawing this guy for over 20 years. So then we draw his ears, just like that.
Okay.
And we talk about how you can use your ears to serve God. And again, I try to lead the children back to a sense of community, how they can serve one another and in turn serve God.
Now, what age group is this for?
It's for ages 4 to 8.
Okay.
Or
older.
Or older, that's right.
All right, and what's that there?
That is the side of his face. So we come down off of
okay.
his ear, and we draw the side of his, start to draw the side of his face, and then we draw his little cheeks, just like that.
Cheek.
And then we come over and we mirror the same thing over here.
Okay.
Just like that. And Bailey wears a V-neck shirt, so we kind of come down with his neck a little bit.
I don't think I'm going to have room for that. But
Are you running out of room?
yeah, but I'm doing pretty good.
You're doing
huh?
great.
Great.
Yeah, you're doing great.
We draw his little V-neck shirt, which is a point just below his mouth, and then we come down with his collar.
Okay. Now, what's the feedback? What are some of the kids saying about Bailey the bear?
They have a blast.
They do?
They absolutely have a blast, and they associate with him as well. So, you know, I tried to think of a character that they could associate with, and he's a little ADHD like me and like most kids running around these days. So he can get in and out of situations, and they can follow right along with him.
Yeah.
Now, do you have plans for other books in this series?
I do.
Other questions?
I've got about ideas for about 8 more in the series right now, and then there's a new book that's coming out next year. It's called When Was God Born? And it deals with the issue of creation and how God thought about us before the very foundations of the world.
What are some of the key ways to help us communicate with kids? Speak their language, so to speak.
I think you just have to be intentional about getting down there on their level. Be patient with them. And just take the time, you know. So many of us adults, we just get kind of caught up into our own world, and we just forget that, you know, this child is watching everything that we do, and they mimic everything that we do. I catch my daughters now. They've been doing this program with me. They travel around and everything. And now my oldest, who is 7, her name's Kaylee. Hello, Kaylee. And Abby. Hello, Abby. They are teaching their friends how to draw Bailey Bear. So just think that child is watching everything that you do, and just be intentional about what you're trying to teach them and build that foundation from the ground up.
Now, as you travel around and you come in contact with a lot of the kids, what is the funniest question you've heard them ask?
Oh, the funniest question. That's a good question. I had somebody ask me just the other day why Bailey Bear only had one eye. And because, you know, if you look at him, it kind of looks like that. He's got the eyes all like that. and the answer was, I was a big Charles Schulz fan. Here we go again. Big plug for Charles Schulz today. And Charlie Brown, if you look at his eyes, they kind of do the exact same thing. You know, you had the 2 dots, and then you had the sides of his eyes like that. So.
Right. Okay, well, you want to hold up your drawing next to mine?
We'll see how you did.
It's hard to see mine right under the light.
I think she did great.
Did I do okay, guys?
What an artist.
Not bad. Nowhere near as good, but maybe with some practice.
Wow.
Well, David, thank you so much for coming and being with us. Good luck to you in your series and everything. And I agree with you. I love those Christmas shows, too.
Yeah,
so, I mean, I guess I'm a kid at heart as well.
Well, please go home and put that on your fridge.
I will.
And whenever you look at it, you'll think about the lesson that you learned today.
I sure will. Well, thanks again for coming and being with us. If you'd like to purchase any of the books in the Discovering God series or find an easy way to link to his website, you can visit us at harvest-tv.com.